This is an R Media podcast. This episode is supported by Vixen, Australian-made skincare powered by plant cell technology and designed to bring real simplicity back to skincare. Love has never been one size fits all, and these are the stories we love to tell at the Australian Women's Weekly. For over 90 years, we've been bringing you stories of hope, of heart and connection that reflect the world we live in. And now it's time for a new chapter with the Australian Women's Weekly Love Stories podcast. Hey, Bren, I'm just looking out to my driveway to see my pile of mulch has finally disappeared. Thank you so much for helping me out with it. I cannot thank you enough. Anyway, I'm thinking of you too because I just had a great chat with Charlie, Albone and Juliet Love, and we talked all things gardens, and I know you're going to enjoy listening to this one. Anyway, hope to see you very soon. Love you. Bye. A few years ago now, I moved out of the inner city and a few hours away to a quiet town where the population's around 800. And for the first time in my life, I have a garden. I've really loved getting my hands into the soil, seeing things bloom and flourish, and sitting back as I watch the seasons uncover all kinds of new delights. But equally, I've made a lot of mistakes in there. I've over-pruned, I've underwatered, I've mistaken budding plants for weeds and pulled them out, and much more. Anyway, this got me thinking, isn't love like that? You need to really carefully nurture it. You need to pull out those weeds and feed and water the seedlings, and you need to get your hands dirty in the process. Two people who will understand this analogy better than anyone else are Better Homes and Gardens presenters Charlie Albone and Juliet Love. Their relationship bloomed one morning in a Sydney park, and despite the adverse conditions, it's gone on to weather times both good and bad, from romantic proposals to welcoming babies to long distance and tackling illness. So how have they kept their garden alive all this time? That's what I want to talk to them about as they join me here today.
The whole point obviously was to see whether we had any on-camera chemistry or any dynamics between us. And he was giving me nothing. So I actually walked away from that experience. I distinctly remember getting back in my car and driving away and thinking, he was so rude. Like, he knew I'd never done this before. He just didn't make an effort. I thought, this guy is...
Nerves and a hangover.
Right.
I'm Tiffany Dunk, and this is the Australian Women's Weekly Love Stories. Juliet, Charlie, welcome to Love Stories, to our love seat.
Thank you so much. It's so lovely to be here.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Oh, as design professionals, how did we go on the decor today?
Well, as soon as I walked in, I said, how stunning. It's a really, really lovely set. And it feels like a home.
I picked the fake flowers immediately.
Damn it.
He's not a big fan of artificial, any kind of plant.
Not much grows when there's no windows, so I'll give you that.
Yeah, thank you.
That's
and
very
also
true.
hydrangeas are my favourite flowers. So that was me insisting upon hydrangeas year round.
Yep.
I do love hydrangeas as well. They're a favourite of
They're very
ours.
good.
Yeah.
Charlie, if you were to describe Juliet as a flower,
Yes.
which one would it be?
Japanese peony. Easy.
Ooh.
Oh.
Most beautiful flower in the world.
Oh.
You smell nice too.
Oh, that's lovely. And you've got me tattooed on your arm there
I
somewhere.
do. That's true.
Oh,
Not me, the flower, but yeah.
That would be good.
I also wanted to ask you, because I feel like your story is a little rom-com-y. Do you guys like rom-coms? Are you fans? And if so, do you have a favourite one?
You like a rom-com?
I love rom-coms. Charlie's not such a big fan of rom-coms. You're more of like a sci-fi fan.
Action type.
I love rom-coms. And there are so many examples of them. But yeah, it is a bit like a real life rom-com, our story.
Well, then take me back to 2009. You're turning up to meet at Rushcutters Park in Sydney.
Uh-huh.
What was going through each of your minds? Set the scene for us.
Well, I think the opening scene of the movie would be me staying up till like 3 or 4 in the morning playing poker, drinking with my friends, and then turning up to quite an important screen test. But I went, so I'd seen pictures of Juliet and I'd obviously thought she was incredibly attractive, but didn't want to mess it up. So thought, I know, I'll mess it up myself by getting really hungover. And then if it doesn't work out, I'll just blame it on the hangover and that'll be fine. That's not the way to do it. But, but it did work out in the end. So maybe it was the way to do it. So yeah, I turned up really hungover. I was walking through Rushcutters Bay Park, like green gills, like struggling. But then I saw Juliet sat down at the cafe and I saw this massive blonde hair, like this mane. And I just thought, oh, I really shouldn't be this hungover for this. I really shouldn't. And yeah, we did the screen test, which went really well, didn't it?
Well, that was sort of where it all unravelled. I hadn't met Charlie before, but I had heard of him and they were looking for a co-host for him for a lifestyle show.
You hadn't heard of me. That's not... You had no idea who I was.
Well, I'd looked you up. I thought, anyway, I'd looked
Google comes in handy.
Google, yes. And I hadn't ever done any television before. So I actually started my career in print media. So I worked for Vogue Living magazine and Vogue Entertaining and Travel when it was around, and had done work in interior design for a long time, but never any television work really. A few bits and pieces, but not a lot. And so I was very nervous. I had been preparing for a couple of weeks and I was sort of, I'd been exercising and I was trying to put my best foot forward. And then I turned up to meet Charlie, as he said, in Rushcutters Bay Park, and the producers were there. And the whole point obviously was to see whether we had any on-camera chemistry or any dynamics between us. And he was giving me nothing. So I was asking him questions and we were sort of, I was trying to get a bit of banter up, and one word answers, hardly smiling. And I was like, wow, this guy is
nerves and a hangover.
So I actually walked away from that experience. I distinctly remember getting back in my car and driving away and thinking, he was so rude. Like, he knew I'd never done this before. He wasn't even trying to help, to sort of make an effort, I thought. And then anyway, as it turned out, I got the job, started working with him, and this silence continued. The producer would pick us up and we'd go and do recce's to whatever location we were going to, and I'd get in the back of the car like little kids we were in the back of the car, and I'd say, morning, Charlie, how are you? And I'd have a coffee and a whatever, and he would, oh, hi, and just not talk to me. So I thought, this guy really doesn't like me.
So you can't blame a hangover unless there's something that we need to talk about. But you can't blame a hangover. What was it? Was it
nerves.
Really?
Yeah, it was nervous.
Why were you so nervous?
Well, I'd only done a couple of series of selling houses. Like, I wasn't, like, I'd done a bit more than Juliet, but not much. So the whole experience, like, of doing your own show with someone new was a bit out there, and doing these recce's and having to sit and force conversation. I hate forced conversation. Like, and I was, I thought Juliet was really attractive and wanted to get to know her, but I just didn't have the confidence to do it, I guess.
Oh, why no confidence?
I don't know. I just didn't at the time. I think Juliet's given me that over the years. But
that's a nice thing to say.
So and when you're forced, like, sat in the car and it's silence and you don't know anyone, it's difficult to have those kind of conversations.
And then the silence gets almost overwhelming and it's like, how do I even break this? And then you get more and more awkward. Oh my God, I'm getting an actual vision as to how uncomfortable this must have been.
It was very uncomfortable, the whole thing, because I was very nervous too, and it was all just...
But once we started filming, it became much easier. Like, I was out in the garden doing my own thing, and then I felt more comfortable, and there wasn't like the producers hanging around the whole time, so then we could have conversations and then it was fine.
And that is where I started to see the real Charlie. And he was very kind to me. Again, it was my first experience in television, and it was a very low budget. So I was doing everything myself. I was sourcing all the props and styling everything and coming up with the ideas. And on filming days, I was very busy, and a few times everything started to fall apart, and he would just all of a sudden, like a knight in shining armor, he would just be there. And a couple of times I didn't have enough for the table, so he just brought plants over and he'd put them there and help me. And so I started to realize that actually he is a very nice person, and started to see the real person.
So when did it come offset into a date?
Well, see, I thought it was a date a lot sooner than Juliet thought it was a date. So I think do you remember the Astra Awards that used to be on?
Yeah.
So
TV awards.
The TV, pay TV awards. I'd been invited for selling houses and didn't have a partner at the time. So I said to them, oh, wouldn't it be nice if Juliet came along, this new show? And they went, oh, what a good idea. So I said, oh, you should come along to this. And I thought, great, that's a date. And
I thought it was a work event. I saw it as a work event. And I
would have thought the same.
Yes. And even the way Charlie asked me, it didn't seem at all like a date. It seemed very professional. Like it was a work, come along to this work event. And then halfway through the night, he sort of put his arm around my back, and I was like, oh, that's unusual. That's not as professional as maybe he should be. And then after that, he asked me out on a date, and I said no because on a proper date, and I said no because, I was very conscious that it probably wasn't going to be a great look to have this onset romance going on, and I sort of wanted to just focus on what I was doing.
I don't remember you saying no, I'll be honest.
The first time I definitely was like, I don't know if I said no, but I said, this may not be the best idea right now. Let's just park that for a second. But he was quite persistent.
Aww.
And I'm really glad now that he was, because he just kept asking me. And then I think we went on a date. I don't actually remember where our first proper date was. Do you?
Might have been somewhere. I think it might have been the Bondi Burrito Company.
Oh, maybe. It may have been.
Maybe
yeah.
Dinner there.
And anyway. And so I went for dinner with him, and then straight away realised what an amazing person he is.
Aww.
And just, so the rest is history, really.
Oh, because I was going to say, I wondered if it was a bit of a love at first sight scenario, because I felt like for you, or love at first screen test maybe, because for you, Charlie, you'd spotted that photograph of Juliet, and then you clearly had some kind of an idea.
Yes.
Did either of you believe in love at first sight, or feel like that was something that could happen?
I don't know about love at first sight. I think there's people that you're more drawn to than others, and then if you can marry that up with the right time in your life, then I think it can happen really quickly. Like everything with us happened quite quickly because of the right timing, and obviously my obsession with Juliet.
Yeah, I'm a real romantic, so I definitely think sort of growing up I probably believed in love at first sight.
Just not with me.
But maybe it just didn't quite happen with Charlie. But the nice thing about our relationship is that, well, for me it was a slow burn, and so it sort of
wasn't really a slow burn. We were married.
Well, no.
I was about to say it felt quite quick to me.
Yeah, so slow burn probably is the wrong way to describe it. But it just wasn't love at first sight, I guess, for me. But then after that, it did happen.
Well, no, you thought he was awful when you first met him. So.
Pretty much, yes. Yeah.
But it just goes to show you don't have to. First impressions don't have to last.
That's right. And I have said that to other friends who've been in similar situations and may not instantly like the person that they've been on a date with. And I'm like, just give them a chance, because you just don't know.
Yeah. Okay, a quick pause now, and then we're going to move into the bits that nobody puts on Instagram. Charlie and Juliet are going to tell us about how fast everything moved, an engagement within 10 months, a dream first pregnancy, and then the moment it all stopped being quite so easy. That's all coming up next. Confession time, guys. I'm really lazy when it comes to my skincare routine. To be honest, I'm lucky if I remember to wash my face at night and don't even go into applying all those different steps of toners, serums, creams, all the different things. It's why Vixen's all-in-one moisturiser was such a game changer for me when I came across it last year. Just one step, done. But I found a new secret weapon, and it's become just as easy to add into my lazy girl routine. Vixen's Shake to Activate Super Vita Serum is lightweight, it smells divine, and it's really good for hydration, and I've got super dry skin, so that's been really great for me. All you need to do is just shake the bottle, apply a couple of drops to your face, and then whack on that moisturiser, and literally, what could be simpler than that? I'll let you in on another secret. If you go to vixen.com.au to purchase now, just add in the code LOVESTORIES, that's Love Stories, all one word, at checkout, and you'll get an extra 30% off. You're welcome. So you went on your first date, and then, as you said, things did happen quite quickly, because how quickly did you get engaged?
Very quickly.
Very quickly.
Within 9 months?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we met in about April or so in 2009, and then I think we were engaged that Christmas.
Yeah.
So very, very quickly.
Yeah.
And then we were married 6 months later.
Far out.
Yeah.
Did anyone sort of say to you, are you rushing this?
Juliet's grandma said to me, now, I don't like a long engagement. You need to get married quick. I said, yeah, that's why we're doing it in 6 months. She goes, that's too long.
Really?
Yeah, I said, that's too long for me.
Granny,
Oh,
that's
wow. I
cute.
didn't know she'd said that to you. Wow. My grandmother was an amazing woman. She's passed away now, but she was incredible. She was married for 60-something years to my grandfather, and they had an incredible relationship too. So she probably knew what she was talking about. I think they had a short engagement.
That's so sweet.
Yeah,
Very
I'm really
supportive.
close to my parents. I'm an only child, and Charlie went and did the formal thing, went and asked my dad for not permission, but he went and spoke to my dad before he proposed. And I remember my dad then coming to me, and he didn't let on that Charlie had seen him or that he was going to ask me to marry him, but he said, "Oh, so, you know, how do you really feel about—" He was sort of asking me questions that he wouldn't normally, and say,
Right.
"Oh, how do you really feel about Charlie? And do you think he is, you know, can you see yourself with him for a long time?" And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so yeah. And I remember at the time going, "These are strange. Like, why is Dad asking me all these questions about this relationship?" And now I know why. But yeah, and the funny thing was when Charlie went to see my dad, he then. Something happened. He was planning on proposing quite quickly, weren't you?
Yeah.
And then something happened. I got the flu or something, and then something happened with him, and so it was dragging out. And my dad thought that maybe he'd changed his mind.
Awkward.
Yeah.
It was a couple of. It wasn't.
It was like 8 weeks later.
8 weeks later. So he was keeping Dad on his toes, I think. Just
Well, how did you propose?
So I'd heard about this really nice watering hole down in the Kangaroo Valley.
Mm-hmm.
And so I booked a hotel down there and thought, I know what I'll do. We'll drive down this road to the middle of nowhere. We'll go to this watering hole. I've got it all planned out. I'll get down on one knee and, ask the question. And we're going down this like tiny road. Like I had a ute at the time and it was like stuff scratching the side of it. And then I looked down and realized I had absolutely no petrol in my car. I'd been like so nervous about the whole process that I forgot to fill up. And we're sort of like 5 or 6 Ks from anywhere, let alone a petrol station.
There was no phone reception. There was nothing around for miles. And the car it wasn't just low fuel. It was
like under.
It was under. Yeah.
But we carried on anyway. And I'd had the ring put in a backpack, which Juliet thinks is hilarious because like I never carry a bag at all. And I had this backpack on and I refused to take it off because I had this ring in. I got down on one knee. You didn't say anything.
Well, no, the funny part was, so we got to this beautiful watering hole and it was absolutely stunning. I'm really glad that you went to the effort to go there. And we got there and he has this backpack and I kept thinking, what is the backpack about? And he wanted to swim out to this beautiful big rock in the middle of the watering hole.
Mm-hmm.
So he swam out with the backpack to this watering hole. And we get there and I was still like, what is with the backpack? And it was a random backpack as well. It was like a rugby league, like something you'd never have. And anyway, and then he pulled the ring out and I was like, oh, I see. This was what it was all about.
But you didn't say yes.
Well, I forgot to say yes, I think, because I was so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But he always says to me, oh, you didn't say yes. But I mean, obviously at some point I said yes. But in the moment, I think I was just so overwhelmed that I didn't actually go yes. But of course you knew that the answer was yes.
Aww.
Yeah. And then I thought we were going to be stuck there for the rest of our lives because we
had no petrol.
all have to walk.
Yeah, how did you get back?
We coughed and spluttered into a petrol station, like just made it. It was literally coughing and spluttering as we got in there. So
by some miracle. It was honestly, I don't know how. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I love that story.
Yeah.
So you got married very quickly. Mm-hmm. What was a big day? A big day? What? Tell us about the wedding.
Charlie particularly wanted to be married in a garden setting,
of course,
and we found this lovely place down on the south coast where we got married. And Charlie grew up in the UK, so we wanted somewhere where not a destination wedding, but we wanted to go somewhere where everyone could come and stay. And so we did that, and it was gorgeous. And it was a great party, our wedding. We had everybody still talks about it now. It was so much fun.
It was October long weekend, so everyone had like a long weekend there, and there was a lot of partying on every day.
Yeah, and a lot of dancing and just joy, happiness. It was really good. Yeah.
Growing up, obviously, in the UK, here in Australia, did you have similar upbringings and similar views on what love and marriage would look like?
I think we're both quite traditional, aren't we?
Yeah, as far as love and marriage, our upbringings might have been a bit different. As in, you were in one house.
Yeah, that's true.
The whole of your upbringing. I lived in Hong Kong and then moved to the UK and kind of moved around a bit. So yeah, but our values as far as marriage and love go very similar. Yeah,
and I think ultimately that is important, isn't it? To have the same, to have the same values around your relationship and how your communication and all that sort of stuff as well. Yeah.
So kids came along. How long until you started your family?
About 2 weeks after we...
No, it was a couple of years. We had, so I think Leo, our eldest son, came along a couple of years after we were married, maybe 2.5 years after we were married.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because I remember my parents were very keen, and your mum as well. All the grandparents were very keen. Our eldest son is the first grandchild in either family. So, yes, they were like, what's going on? Hurry up. But we were busy working and kind of, I don't know what we were doing, having a good time, I think, being social and whatever. And then, yes, Leo came along a couple of years later, and then Hartford, our youngest, came along a little bit less than 2 years after that. So, yeah.
I know you had a bit of a dream first pregnancy. Things had gone quite easily, but that changed with Hartford. Can you tell us your journey that happened there?
Yeah. So in the second pregnancy, I started to feel quite unwell, very tired all the time, a lot of headaches. And I just put it down to the fact that I was running after a toddler. I'd been writing a book on interior design and was just quite busy. And then quite late in the pregnancy, I'm going to say about maybe 27 weeks or something, I was driving along with Leo in the car. So he was only 1 at the time. And I was driving along, and all of a sudden I'd had a really bad headache that morning, and all of a sudden my vision just went very blurry, almost kind of completely went. Fortunately, my mum was not far away, so I pulled over and called her straight away. And I ended up at the hospital, and they hadn't done the gestational diabetes test at that point in either pregnancy. So I went through the whole first pregnancy without having done it. And then in the second one, when they finally did it, the level was so high they thought it was a false positive. So they did it again, which was the worst thing that my body could have gone through, because they give you so much glucose. And at that point, I didn't realise, but I was type 1 diabetic. And they thought at first it was gestational diabetes. And they said, this will be fine. You just manage it through lifestyle, diet and some exercise, and it'll be fine. And when you have the baby, it'll go away. And then, as it turned out, they did some further testing after I had heart, and I showed positive for the antibodies. But it was funny because there was no family history, and there were no sort of signs before that. It almost just came out of nowhere a little bit, but quite life-changing, type 1.
Yeah. So what are those changes? And especially when you're pregnant as well. And, apologies, I've not had a baby, and neither have I had diabetes. So I'm asking, what does it mean, and how does that experience impact you?
Yeah. So it's an autoimmune condition, type 1 diabetes, and it affects your pancreas. So your body basically attacks itself, and you don't produce insulin anymore, which is required to sustain life. And so you have to go on insulin injections or on a pump. I'm on about 10 injections a day, just to sort of manage it. So it's a lot. Yeah.
Far out.
But it's more than just that. It's like every decision has to be thought of because of the diabetes. So everything you eat, and then in the periods between eating, you need to have a look at what your sugar's doing, and your exercise makes a difference to it. Sleeping makes a difference to it. Stress makes a difference to it.
Hormones make a difference. So there are all these things feeding into it. Is like a full-time job managing it. There's amazing technology now, though, that helps a lot. So I can see my glucose level at any time of the day on my phone, because I wear a little monitor that sort of sits just under the skin that tells me my glucose level. That's amazing. But yeah, it's a challenge, but it's just one of those things you just got to keep moving. The hardest part, I think, is during the night, because it's 24/7. You never get a break from it. But during the night, if your blood sugar goes low, that can be really dangerous. So, the monitor alarm goes off, but that could be 3 a.m. and it can sometimes go off multiple times during the night if it's high or low. And diabetes doesn't know if you've got something important on the next day. So
it doesn't care.
No.
Sorry.
Yes. So that I think is the hardest part during the night. I find a challenge.
Yeah. That must have been really scary for you as well, Charlie.
I was trying to think of when that happened to Juliet, when you were driving where I was, and I think I was in Mount Isa.
Oh, were you?
For selling houses, and you calling me and telling me, and that's quite terrifying when you're away so much. And at the time, I was traveling a lot with selling houses, so it hasn't been easy in that sense.
Yeah, but I feel very fortunate because Charlie straight away, he's very practical and he's very supportive, and he just went, "We'll just deal with this," and he's been just so supportive the whole time. Yeah.
And I mean, as you said, you both have incredibly busy lives because, you both work a lot, but then also you've done a lot of work on your own home and that you're raising your family in. So how's it gone, I guess, both being in the world of design, albeit slightly different, gardens, interiors. Do you have the similar styles or do you fight over it or how does that all
We never
work?
used to have the same style.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Juliet would hate what I would like and I would hate what she would like. And slowly we've kind of adopted things from each other and sort of we're somewhere in the middle now, aren't we?
Yeah, and I think it's really interesting. When I first met Charlie, he loved cottage gardens and a more informal style of design generally. And I have always preferred classic design and quite formal gardens and hedges and things like that, and a formal interior space as well. And as he said, we've sort of slowly merged together almost. But I think working with someone else creative always opens your eyes to other things, and you end up with a better result, I think, at the end of the day. So, and we've become quite good at working together on our own homes because, like, over the years, as we've renovated a few now, and we kind of know how to make it work so that we're not constantly arguing about tile choices or whatever that is.
So how do you get past those disagreements, whether it's about tile choices or life choices?
I think we go by, if it's an exterior decision, I'll have the final say. And if it's an interior decision, Juliet will have the final say. But we can discuss it up into that, if we get pretty heated sometimes. But yeah, that's sort of how I think we've worked this last house out.
Yeah, and I think the ultimate thing is, and why it ends up working and us not fighting so much is that we both respect each other's decisions. So we try and listen to each other, I think.
And we can explain to the other person.
Yes.
Like if I say, I don't like that tile, Juliet say, yeah, but think of it with this, and this. And I go, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. Or no, I think that's wrong. Why don't we sub in this and that or whatever it may be. So we can kind of have that conversation about it. It's not an immediate shutdown if we don't like something.
Yeah. What about if it's not interiors though or exteriors? What if it is about, I don't know, something that's unrenovation related?
I think Charlie's just learnt he just needs to agree with me, whatever I can. No, absolutely not. How do we resolve? We're fortunate in that Charlie's a very relaxed person. So he is not much ruffles his feathers, so you don't get upset about many things. But if we do have to resolve an issue, I think just talking it out and communication.
Yeah. What were we saying? Not really an argument, but you said, I want to go to Coachella next year. And I said, that is like, that is my nightmare. I would hate that. But you go if you want to go. Like it's, and that's part of the relationship. If you want to do it, go do it. But
Yeah, supporting each other's choices. And I think as well, having that time apart from each other, enjoy those moments because when you come back together, it makes it so magical.
That is so true. And Charlie used to travel a lot. When the children were little, he was away
3 days a week.
At least. And that was tough. It was hard, but I think there's definitely something in that spending time apart is very important as well. It gives you perspective and it is so nice then when you come back together and it feels kind of fresh and new again.
Yeah. How did you cope with that when the kids were young? Like, did you have support? How did you?
Really just my parents helping out and Charlie's mum is amazing with the children, but she's in the UK. She comes out and visits at least once or twice a year, but just my parents and my family have always been really supportive, but it's not easy. Like I take my hat off to anyone juggling, parenthood and work and having a partner away it's tricky.
Absolutely.
You have to be very organised. I think that was one of the ways that I kind of got through it. Organisation and just I don't know, just trying to embrace. It's funny too. The older I get, the more I realise you really need to just slow down and just enjoy those moments. Because when I look back now, I probably was stressing more than I needed to. I probably just should have enjoyed just being with the kids while they were little. And
I know. Do you have the nostalgia now that they're getting a little bit older for those like toddler moments?
Absolutely. I mean, there's part of me that loves the fact that they're a little bit more independent and that it's just such an enjoyable age that they're both at the moment too.
You say that every age they're at though.
Oh, really? But I love the age they're at.
Yeah. I love the age they're at the moment. So.
Yeah. What age are they at the minute?
11 and 13.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, gosh.
So they're getting quite big.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year of primary school and second year of high school. But I mean, you say that I say this all the time, but I love the age they're at now because you can really see who they are, who they're becoming. They're enjoyable to spend time with. They're fun.
Yeah. I mean, he's a young teenager and he's at the point where he thinks bumping into me the whole time is hilarious. So I like being around him, but walking down the street with him can be so annoying sometimes. Like constantly knocking into you, come on, Dad, and pushing you. And I'm like,
it's like this
I get
physical.
I get your hormones, but can you just please let me just walk down the street without being knocked into a car or pushed into a hedge or something like that.
And this whole language they're talking now, the Gen, what Gen are they?
Man.
The Gen Alpha and Gen whatever they are. Oh my gosh, like everything's cooked or this is.
I'll stop glazing, Dad.
Everything's, yeah.
Okay, cool.
What's that?
Oh.
Talking something up?
Yeah.
You're glazing it?
I'd never heard that one. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now I feel like I'm going to be
super
hipper.
cool.
Yeah. I mean, do you feel a bit of pressure? I guess it's like life's a bit tough on boys now, right? Like it's a whole brand new world. And, you talk about, what is it? The look maxing.
Manscaping.
Yeah. It's like, how are you tackling all of those conversations with the boys at home?
That's a tricky one because the boys, they like watching people getting their hair cut on YouTube.
Okay.
That is a huge thing with this age group.
Oh
like
my
they
God,
are
I'm learning
obsessed with
so
haircuts.
much
And they're
today.
obsessed with their hair.
Oh.
And it looks ridiculous. Like they shave a bit here and then they push it all forward and they're constantly looking at themselves and pushing it up. It's just, I don't know.
And they all know the names of all the different haircuts and low taper fades and this and that.
Did you see that guy's modern mullet? That was tough.
Yeah.
That guy over there. Yeah, so tough, Dad. I'm like, okay.
But it is a bit of a scary place to be with kids generally these days because the world is changing so rapidly and with the internet
our
and
parents
technology.
did the same thing for us.
Yeah. But I do think at the moment it is really different. Like it is changing
there's a lot
so
to look
quickly.
out for, but there was always stuff to look out for.
Yeah. And I think we just try and be very open. We've always had open communication in our house and we're very close as a family. We spend a lot of time together and we just talk about everything. And the kids are quite good. Like they'll come to us and you look like you're about to say something cheeky.
No. I just have a really inappropriate story in my head, and I'm trying not to say it.
Oh, I love an inappropriate story.
No, it's not.
No? Okay. Well, you get in heaps of trouble.
Oh yeah.
What's the word that if you get in trouble at home? What's the word the boys would use?
The new slang that they're talking.
The new slang.
Oh, you're cooked, or mum's cooked, or
you just got cooked by mum.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we don't want anyone to cook here. No.
No one's getting cooked. No. But the weird thing about that one is that if you're cooking, that's a good thing. Like Steph Curry's cooking in that basketball game. But then if you're cooked, that's really bad.
Right.
So it's very confusing.
Very confusing. I think we need a whole new. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Coming up in this conversation, what does it really feel like to work with your partner on camera? We asked Charlie and Juliet about the rules they've put in place to keep their marriage from being swallowed by work. See you after the break.
A warm hello to our new listeners. I'm Sophie, editor of the Australian Women's Weekly, and we're so happy you're joining us on this new chapter. For over 90 years, the Australian Women's Weekly has been a trusted home of real love stories, the kind that are messy and funny and quietly miraculous, just like real life, and just what we all need right now. Now, with the Australian Women's Weekly Love Stories, we're wrapping those stories around you in lots of new ways. Online, in your ears, wherever you are, making it easy as possible for you to enjoy. So, if you've grown up with the Weekly or you're just finding us now, welcome. And we'd love you to come on this new adventure with us, exploring every kind of love and the real things that matter to all of us. And because you're listening, and we value that, we've got something special just for you. A discounted subscription to the Australian Women's Weekly so you can dive even deeper into the stories you're liking. Just head to womensweekly.com.au to find out more. And thank you so much for being part of our Love Stories family. Now back to the chat.
And then what do you, outside of haircuts and learning new slang, what do you guys like doing together as a family? Like what does a traditional like day off weekend look like for your family?
The kids are obsessed with basketball. So normally there's like 4 games of basketball on the weekend, which is fine. We do like eating out and the kids like eating out as well, don't they?
Yeah, so on the weekend we usually will
nice.
go and have breakfast out or sometimes dinner. Charlie also, he says the kids love basketball and they do, which is why he has gotten into basketball and he has joined a men's social team, which is really amusing to watch because they all take it so seriously. So that's on the weekends as well, usually a Sunday night.
It's normally like the lower the division, the more aggressive people get playing it. And I've never played at school, so I'm hopeless. So they get really angry at me and I find it hilarious.
Are you competitive?
No. Not at basketball because I've got no idea what I'm doing.
Okay.
So it's, fun.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
The kids also love gardening, which is great, especially our youngest son. He absolutely loves gardening, so he'll get out into the garden with Charlie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's do that every weekend at least.
Here's the thing. I'd never had a garden. I've always lived in the inner city, but I did a bit of a mountains change. I live up in the Blue Mountains now and I've got a garden for the first time. I killed so many things. I'm getting better at growing. I'm very good at bulbs, which are all starting to come up.
You got the climate for it, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But what is it about gardening that is so soulful, mindful? Like, you know, why is it that we just love our gardens so much?
Well, I used to think we used to have a property up on the Central Coast and I describe gardening as like weeding, right? So people hate weeding. They think, oh no, I've got so much weeding to do. I need to get it all done in one go. And I used to get stressed out that I'd never get all the weeding done in that garden. And it would upset me. I'd come in an evening, I haven't got that done. I need to get out and do that, and builds anxiousness. And once I realized that the weeds are always going to be there. It doesn't matter if I clear them, they're going to come back. So, and like the kids would tear me away from it and I'd be like, I need to finish this, but then I wasn't spending time with the kids. It's always going to be there. The weeds are always going to be there. So just enjoy the process of pulling them out and taking the time to do it properly and working on a small patch, knowing that it's always going to be there. So gardening kind of gives you that calmness, I think. And you're nurturing stuff. You're putting stuff in the ground. You're watching it grow. You're seeing it flower. You're getting a return for the effort you put in. And you're outside. Like, what more do you want?
So wholesome. And it's lovely, I think, with kids as well to get them into it so early because it's also growing things that you can eat, right?
Yes.
That's possibly why they enjoy eating out as much as they do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Our youngest is obsessed with growing stuff. Like if there's anything left over in the kitchen, it's in a pot on the windowsill. He's got carnivorous plants. He goes and plucks bits off the succulents and he makes terrariums in his room.
Cool.
Yeah.
He's really into it. He really loves plants and gardening. So that's really nice to see. And I think gardening is so therapeutic. Even just putting your hands into soil, that's it slows you down. It's mindful. But also I think for kids, getting their hands in soil, they say, is really good for the microbiome. Like even just your gut microbiome. It's really good to just have, especially small children.
Do you have to lick your fingers after?
I don't know. I think it's just that whole thing of putting your hands in soil and probably not washing your hands up, just being exposed to
all that good stuff.
Yeah, all the good stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you've given me that tip about weeding because I swear I feel like I weed more often, but I quite like it sometimes because there's that amazing sense of satisfaction you get when you see that clear patch. You're like, don't look over there. Ignore the ivy.
It's always like don't strive for perfection in a garden because you'll never get it. It's sort of, you can see it's like anything really. You see all these pictures on Instagram, be it a garden or the guys looking at other people's haircuts and stuff like that. That's online. That's not real life.
Yeah.
And as soon as you start gardening, you realize that. And
I think beauty comes in imperfection, right? It's what makes it unique and gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Well, will we maybe see a new generation then of Better Homes and Gardens presenters if Hartford's really into gardening?
You might take my job.
Yeah, they both love it. They do. Leo loves it too. So you never know.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Now, how do you go working together? And obviously, Charlie, you were on the show before you joined Juliet. How do you find that process of working together?
Well, we very rarely spend a day working together, maybe 2 days a year, like at the Christmas episode in the episode
on Better Homes and Gardens, that is. Yes, yeah.
That's all we work together. But it's like it's an unusual industry to be in and it's an unusual work day. It's not your standard 9 to 5. So it's nice that the other one understands that, which is good.
Yeah. And I think we started working together, so it's always been very natural for us. And we are working together now on our own ventures. And so we do spend a lot of time together. But I think having that history of working together and understanding how the other one works and that sort of mutual respect is really good to have. Yeah. And it's fun when we get to do crossover stories on Better Homes and Gardens because we, you know, it's almost like a novelty. It is only once or twice a year. So it's really fun when we see in the schedule that there's a crossover. It's good.
Yay. Now, you mentioned you're working on your own ventures. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So we wanted to bring people quick, easy tips and ideas that they can do in their own homes and gardens to improve them, because we both really believe in the power of having a home that you love, and if you love your surroundings, it can change your whole mood. So we started the Living Edit last year, and we're just working on developing some products, which is really exciting. So we bring some premium products to market, but making them accessible for everybody. So doing gorgeous bamboo bed linen, and all with a sort of an eco focus. I want to do low tox household cleaning sprays and things, because I think a lot of people don't realise how many chemicals are around us as well. So just sort of looking at reducing exposure to toxins and things.
Yeah. And I think we're in this huge cost of living crisis, right? And we're spending more time at home as a result. So being able to do things that bring us more joy in our homes, what a great time.
Like a nice luxury feel, but something that people can actually afford.
Yeah. Exactly. My gosh. All right. I'm going to have to jump on and find out what I can do in my little house.
So tell me about your garden.
Oh, okay.
I have a question about your garden too.
Oh, okay. I love that you've got a question about my garden. So it's actually, they call it easy care. I would argue that
there's no such thing.
No, exactly. But it's lovely. It's a big, I've got a small front yard, and it's got all the trees that I love. It's got a Japanese maple that's beautiful and bright orange at the moment, red at the moment. I've got a magnolia tree. I've got lilac trees.
Oh, nice.
I've got wisteria. I've got jasmine. I've got, like, literally the first year I was there, all of a sudden something would come up and I'd be like, oh, I've got these. And then, heaps and heaps of bulbs. I went crazy planting bulbs when I first moved in because I love them, like tulips, daffodils, snowdrops.
Do you have any bulbs in your fridge though? Because Charlie has been driving me crazy lately with bulbs in the vegetable crisper of our fridge. And I'm like, I need to put vegetables in there.
You also get cold enough in winter so you don't have to lift them and put them in the fridge. I had to buy them and then put them in the fridge to replicate winter, and then I can plant them out and then I'll get better flowers.
Oh, is that why you're doing it?
I'm not doing it for fun.
Well, no, I knew there was a reason behind I thought they needed to be cold, but yes.
Replicates winter.
Okay.
Was that your question, Juliet?
Yes, I wanted to know what you do, because you said you love bulbs. Yes.
I do, yeah. But, I mean, look, I like anything that flowers and smells nice. The one thing I can't grow, and it's insane because it is the perfect climate for it, is hydrangeas.
Really?
Hence why, like, I love coming in here because...
What have you tried? How have you tried growing them?
Well, I've gotten not a lot of sunlight. I think the places that I would want them, there's not enough sun because there's so many big established trees. So, lots of...
Try one called hydrangea quercifolia, the oak leaf hydrangea that will grow in deep shade. Not your standard round head flower, more of a conical shape, but really nice.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you.
Right.
Yay. You know, your journey has been such an incredible roller coaster, sort of from, incredible highs to some really tough times, whether it's with health, with not being together all the time. In those hard times, what support have you sought from each other? What's really helped and strengthened the relationship?
Well, knowing that someone is there is the key. That helps. If you've got someone and someone who you can always talk to and always support you, then that's helped me. Admittedly, I don't get stressed very often, but I also like being able to help. Knowing that you're helping someone, I think that supports the other person and it helps you to kind of give you more of a purpose, I guess.
Have there been specific times or instances that you can think of where you've really needed to do that or you've needed to lean into that?
Well, Juliet's health is a constant. So sometimes I like to plan a lot, like get it all planned, and then that kind of chills me out. I can just do it all. But then if, say, Juliet's had a terrible night and nothing's going to plan the next day, like that can be tough. But you just go, well, that's life, isn't it? You just keep moving.
What about me? Like, do you feel like I have been there when you've needed me?
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm just talking completely from a selfish point of view. But yeah, Juliet's always there for me. Like traveling and not being around the kids and not being around Juliet was really tough. And now I'm doing it less. I appreciate it even more, like how Juliet was during those times.
Yeah, and I just really appreciate how stable Charlie is as a person. So he's a very
it's Valium. It's all.
Yeah, he's really my rock and the family's rock. He's not much ruffles his feathers, and I just know that he will be there when I need him, when I was unwell. And it was a very hard time because at the beginning I didn't want anyone to know because I felt like it was almost like a weakness that I had type 1 diabetes, and over time obviously that has changed. But he was really just so supportive. He was couldn't have been better. And I know for a lot of people that's not always the case. Yeah. And it can be very lonely having an illness. And I think reaching out as well, like I was very happy to sort of open up to you and to sort of, I think you need to let people know when you need them as well. That's really important. Yeah.
Is there again, I feel like I'm going back on a bit. Is there a specific instance that you can remember just feeling that sense of lowness or inability to express it where Charlie swept in?
Well, actually, to be honest, not so long ago, last year, I felt completely overwhelmed and just was pretty much not coping. And I was, for the first time in my life, I was feeling anxious and I was really struggling. And so again, I think it's really important to be open. So I spoke to Charlie about it, and it got to the point where he was like, you know what, we're just going to go and talk to someone about this. And so he put me in the car and we did, and thank God he did, because that turned everything around. And then all of a sudden I was able to sort of get the help I needed, get through it. And I've always been a very positive person, but I just went through, and everyone does at certain points in life. You know, life is not always going to be this a dream. Hydrangeas and, you know. But yeah, so that was enormously powerful in our relationship, I think too, that, you know, yeah.
And I think when it comes to those sort of the equilibrium of your mental health, when it comes to experiencing any of those kinds of feelings for the first time or second time, third time, whatever it is, there is that sense of, oh, I shouldn't mention it. I don't want people to know. It makes me look weak. It's not who I am. So speaking it out loud it's hard.
It's hard, but it's a very important step in kind of getting better and acknowledging what's going on. I think talking about it. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, no.
As we close out our chat today, I'd love to know what you hope your boys know or learn about love from the two of you. What's important for them to know?
I think communication and fun. I would like them to know. Like that's what I want for them in their relationships, just to be able to communicate, have fun and be with someone they love.
Yeah, and that, you know, love is everything. Like love, we should all just be loving our neighbour, loving strangers even. Just love is the key to everything, I think. And also the fact that in this day and age where everything is so transactional and fast and whatever, that long-term love is possible as well. You know, having a long-term relationship and love that lasts, like my grandparents had, you know, they were very blessed with that. So yeah, I think for the boys to just know that love is the key.
Well, 45 years on, we'll revisit that 60. We'll hit 60. I feel like we can get there, right?
I think we can get there.
Yeah.
The hydrangeas will still be here as well.
Yeah. Stop mocking my flowers. Oh, Juliet and Charlie, thank you so much for joining us. I've had such a beautiful conversation. I've learned a lot about relationships and about my garden.
About your garden as well.
Yeah.
Good. Thanks for having us.
Thanks so much, Tiff. We've loved it.
Yay. Wow, what a roller coaster of a relationship. Charlie and Juliet really have gone through life's up and downs together. I really love their engagement story. I've got such a mental image of them spluttering into that petrol station and Charlie's really uncomfortable walk with that precious backpack. But I also loved how raw and honest they were about how they tackle things when they're really not picture perfect. Anxiety, diabetes, long distance, absolutely all of it. So if you're listening and your own love story looks a little bit less than picture perfect right now, I hope this has reminded you that even great love stories come with plot twists. The magic isn't that nothing hard ever happens, it's that you find ways, both big and small, to stand on the same side of the problem. You've been listening to Love Stories with me, Tiffany Dunk, for the Australian Women's Weekly. If you enjoyed this conversation, please follow the show or leave us a review. Maybe send this episode to the person you thought of when Juliet said yes to that very fast proposal. We'll be back soon with another story about the many ways we find, sometimes lose, but always choose love. I hope to see you next week. This episode is supported by Vixen, Australian-made skincare powered by plant cell technology and designed to bring real simplicity back to skincare.
This is an R Media podcast.